And just when you thought you were going to see a bunch of Pat the Designer on the screen, you get me. No, what is good, YouTube?
And
Is your
me.
boy P.kidd. I'm here always with the man, the myth, the legend himself, super producer Joe Holt. Go ahead, baby. Talk to him real quick.
What's happening? What's happening, kid?
Man,
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Listen, we got a nice show for you all today. Hey, we actually get to talk some NBA today. I know we've beat the NFL thing to a pulp. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about that still some more too. Thought you were getting away from it, wasn't you? You're not. So you're not getting away from it. But again, Windy City Breeze, the Daily Show. We want to give you all something. Is the Chicago Bulls and the Zach Lavine thing actually going to happen? Let's get into a couple of these topics right now, man. We're gonna start with Zach Lavine. Will he actually land in LA?
You know, I don't know. What I mean, what is your immediate thought on that?
Of course he is. He get Clutch Sports as his representative.
Yeah, but like, how does that work for us for Chicago? What do you get back for Zach?
The interesting thing is, and I'm glad that we're getting this part out the way because the Bulls do play at 6:30, so we want to make sure we get to you all live quicker and everything like that. But ultimately, what does it do for us? I think it all depends on who you trade for. I still say that we need a legitimate point guard or someone who's been in that position. A lot of people, if even Pat says D'Angelo Russell is not a point guard, he is a point guard. He's a better point guard than what we have currently. He's been
Yeah.
starting for most of his career, and that's just something that I think would be beneficial. D'Angelo Russell and another piece for Zach Lavine actually helps us. I mean, we're winning without Zach right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I should
well,
tell you
sort of.
something.
But we didn't beat. We lost to Milwaukee. Like, we're still. This is still a sum of the parts type of team to me. So
Facts.
trading Zach, until we still need an impact player. Shout out to Laganza, Baki was happening, Lavelle was happening, Bob Chimney was happening up. D'Lo running the first Pat. What's up, Pat? D'Lo Rue.
I
I
don't know who
mean,
JHS is. Who's JHS?
I forget, but doesn't make me tingly inside. I don't. You know.
I'm I'm gonna say this for one. Um, Obviously, D'Lo, Rui, I can see that you got to make the money work, and realistically, and of all these things that we see, all these people that we see that they have, Austin Reeves is not coming here. Like I see Shay say Austin Reeves, he's not. They're not trading Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
Like Austin Reeves is one of their most impactful players. No, you're not going to get that player for Zach Lavine. It's not happening. Oh, they're going to keep Austin Reeves. They're going to actually build, and he's cheap too. I think was he 50 million over two? What was his contract?
Who? I
Austin
don't. I
Reeves.
can't speak to. I don't know
It's
yet.
like
I have to look
50
that up.
million over two, if I'm not mistaken. It's something around that line. He got a decent contract considering where he was drafted and stuff like that. So I'm
Yeah.
happy for that. Happy for him. He balled out. But like realistically, you're not getting Austin Reeves. Rui Hachimura is actually a solid player. Unfortunately, he plays the same position as LeBron James. So ultimately, you know what's going to happen. It's the same thing that happened to Kyle Kuzma when he played behind LeBron James. Your numbers are going to suffer.
Right.
It just is what it is. You're not going to get the same production out of that. So Kyle Kuzma right now is putting up starting all-star numbers realistically since he left that situation. It just is what it is. But yeah, interested in Cam. I can see that. Cam, the funny thing is Cam would have to be in a situation where he has to. Cam is much like I guess you would say Kobe White in the sense of he is a bucket. He is a buck, but you have to like cater to that and give him the shot. But that's that thing right there. Ultimately, though, I think it happens simply because Zach wants to be there. Clutch Sports wants to make sure that they appease their client, which ultimately is ran by LeBron James. And at the end of the day, all of that is going to be something that always caters and falls in the favor of the Lakers or LeBron
Yeah.
James. Like I don't see any way around it. Have you ever seen a situation where Clutch Sports client did not go to the team they wanted to go to?
I don't know. This is still relatively new in terms of this generation of basketball. I mean, it doesn't matter. The simple fact remains, you got to get value for value. So the only problem is like Zach Levine is a nice. He's not the guy that we want him to be. So I guess in hindsight or looking into this moving forward, the guy that we got to get, we're probably not going to get that of equal parts. I mean, we're going to get a couple of nice glue guys that fit, what we have now. So to me, does this mean that we just strengthen our bench? D'Angelo Russell at the one, I actually like that. I think that's more of kind of a natural position for him to play. Is it similar in a sense to Lonzo? They can score. I don't think he's as great as a defender, but
Hmm.
he can hit a three, right? He can score. But I don't know if that's the difference from what we have now with like I think what Kobe is like balling out right now. But what are we looking for? We're trying to get more. The point guard is supposed to distribute and set everybody up. So we're hoping that we can
Hmm.
get more
Hmm.
production out of Vooch, have him placed better in better position. Um, but I don't know. I think that team that we saw when Acme put that team together, uh, that moment of glory that we saw how nice they looked for so many games. I don't know if we're ever going to see that. Like that was
Right.
it. We had our moment, and we've been trying to capture that team ever since. And I don't know if we're going to catch that.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I'm glad you mentioned that because everyone,
Yes. He's talking about
what
my
is that?
lightning is crisp. He said my lightning is crispy.
Hey man, you got the light skin camera on right now.
Hey
You
man,
do your
let's put my
thing.
beauty light on, man. It's
Like,
my beauty light.
hey man,
They teach you that in class, in film school. It's the
I
beauty light.
got you.
The light under here is the evil light, and the other one's the conflicted light. That's a little
The, the
knowledge, a little knowledge.
the funny thing about you mentioning what we saw with Lonzo Ball is, we looked at Lonzo Ball and everyone talks about what Lonzo Ball was as a point guard. And I'm with you. He was a legitimate point guard, things of that nature. But Lonzo Ball never averaged double digit assists. Lonzo Ball he's never done that part. But his
Mm-hmm.
pace of play and stuff like that, that's ultimately what we liked. We liked a point guard who pushed the pace and actually got people in position. D'Lo does that. In fact, D'Lo's assist numbers and his score and his shooting percentage from three rivals what Lonzo Ball did. So if we're really trying to replicate that, he's a great pickup for what we're trying to build because those numbers
Mm-hmm.
align. And for anyone that wants to challenge it, just look it up. Lonzo Ball has I think the most he's ever averaged was like 7 or maybe 7.5 assists a game at his peak,
Well, you got to
which is
factor in.
roughly what you would get. And he's had enough teammates. I mean, he played a season with Bi and Zion. He had enough teammates to get that assist number up. It's just his pace of play. And so realistically, D'Lo could play that pace of play. God, why did I have a stroke on that one? Play that pace of play. Shut up. And so that's why I think he'll
Alliteration.
be a great. I'm pushing for him simply because I can see the immediate impact he can make from the point guard position and the fact that he actually shoots well from three, especially this season. Um,
Mm-hmm. I
D'Lo can impact. Why is Jordan talking and he's not in the chat? Where?
He's waiting. I told him send me his email so I can
Get
get this
here.
out. Yeah, I told him that. Like, get on here. I just think that the thing with Lonzo is I think he was coming into his own and establishing himself as
Hmm.
a real like perennial all star player. Getting D'Angelo Russell I feel is like a stopgap. Kind of works. It's like getting something, but then we're losing Zach. We're still losing a 25-point score, and in return we get like a 17, 18-point score. Like we still lose. You know, we lost Lonzo, then we lose Zach, and then we get back, a decent score, and then we got some good bench players or good role players. I mean, you can do the dog pound kind of again some of the parts type of team, but you still got to have that guy that's ready to really be that man. I mean, DeRozan is clearly on him now.
Hmm.
Period. So that's how I
The
look at it.
the Bulls are lining up to go against the Heat today. I have been on record several times saying that the Miami Heat will look to make a late game trade for Zach Lavine. I know
Mm,
reports said that they would not do so. I don't believe them.
yeah.
Uh, Tyler Hero was passed around the entire NBA for every trade package, like he was. I'm not going to say that reference. But he was definitely passed around in every trade. Every was like, "Do you want to turn here?" Like that's what it was for Tyler Hero, and that's 20 points a game and a very high clip from three. And ultimately, the Bulls need shooters.
That's
And
I,
on the flip
Steve-O
side,
got
go
Steve-O
ahead.
got a good point. That's what I think. D'Lo is. We got another player like that. Versus we're losing a 25. Like we lose a 25 to get a 17. We'll see how that works. But go ahead, continue. I'm sorry to interject.
Yeah, I still say Kobe White is a shooting guard. Like I said it before when I said Kobe White could start on a different team when we had Zach Lavine starting at the two. If we don't have Zach Lavine starting at the two, Kobe White can start at the two. But
Yeah,
then
he
I
could.
want Kobe White to do exactly what I want Kobe White to do, which is score. Your job is to shoot and guard.
Hmm.
Ain't no pass in that.
Well,
so
well, that
so
might work out if D'Angelo can, get his assist numbers up and do what he's supposed to do. I mean, what does he average?
who?
D'Angelo Russell,
See, here's the funny thing about D'Lo. Um, and it's not me trying to stick up for him. I say
hmm
this about anybody that plays on the LeBron James team. Your numbers are going to suffer.
right?
You're going to be extremely good at one thing and one thing only, and that's going to be shooting. Because if you're not good at shooting, you're not on the floor. And this season, so far, he's shooting 38% from three, which is relatively good. He's shooting 47% from the field,
And
but
about
he's
a 6 to 7 assists a game guy. I mean, he works. And I think it's the issue about Zach, right? And most of us have is it's more about the awareness. It's about the high basketball IQ. Are we getting rid of one low basketball IQ player and then bringing in another low IQ player? Like we need. That's the issue. He's supposed to be the guy. When he got that contract, he was supposed to
mhm,
be the man. And instead, when he's gotten better, but he's just more like he's fine being a complimentary piece, or he doesn't make the smart decision that he's supposed to make. So now when you get DeMar, then you defer to him. And now they're talking about DeMar being MVP of the season of the league, MVP candidate, and
mhm,
not
mhm.
Zach. So it's like if we're going to move this guy to get someone else in, it's like either I feel like it might just be time to kind of like reset this team because I think it reminds me kind of like the Bears chasing after like the 2018 team, right? When Pace was trying to
That's
make these moves. It reminds me of Jerry Angelo trading for Jay Cutler
mhm,
and to fix
mhm.
the 20, the 06, 07, 08, 06 through whatever that time period. So I just feel like you're trying to build a team and compete. I want a team that competes. Pat always messes with me because it's like you don't like basketball, you don't care about it. I'm like I am used to us winning and competing, not necessarily having to win a championship, but we compete and we have a chance to win. I'm not saying we got to. I'd rather take like a Boston squad. They're respected enough that they might get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They might be respected enough to get to the finals because they have. That's all I want out of our teams.
Consistent, to be consistently competitive. I get that. And you know what? Good GM moves, good moves, period, allow you to get there. I think ultimately that brings us to this one. And we're transition to that was this topic still. Will the Bulls look out for themselves or Zach? And realistically, I think this is a good time to actually bring in our main man, JC, right
My
here.
main man, my main
Yeah,
man.
I'm on behind the question.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it off.
Everybody see
Sorry.
me? All right, there we go.
There we go. There we go. We're gonna get JC in there to actually help us with this one, man. Listen, I want to
Hey,
get your
shoot,
thoughts on this first before we
hey,
do this
shoot.
round robin. You think the Bulls are gonna look out for themselves, or they're gonna help Zach get to where he wants to go?
I mean, if they're smart, they're gonna get Zach to where they need to go. Because honestly, I think there's only a number of teams that are actually looking to trade. I know you all already talked about D'Lo and the fact that he could be there. What do you
I
say? We
can't.
ain't competed
I
for a
can't stand.
championship.
I can't stand
Hey,
Pat.
he
Like,
that's a
Wait,
fact
what's
though.
going on? What did I
well,
Hey,
guess
miss?
what? Most of my life, I seen them win, and now in the back end of my life, I'm watching them lose. So I know what I'm used to seeing.
Joe, you 40. They only won for 10 years.
I mean, I grew up when
Whew.
Michael Jordan was still on the Bulls, but that's been
They
some time, man.
right, but before that, for all I know, they weren't that great. And so I came in. I came around right around the time when we started winning, and then we've had a couple winning seasons. I mean, Derrick Rose, like that was a surprise. Like
I,
my point is that they got the respect that they can compete. That's all I want.
I'm with you. I'm
That's
with
a
you.
fact.
Somebody block Pat. Block him on his own show.
I
Oh
can't block
no!
him on his own.
Why would we?
I know the next time I got to do an intro and we ain't all on this intro, I'm gonna block that. Hey, listen, I
That's all
take
you
that
see is
personal.
Pat's face on the
Hey,
thumbnail
I
every
take that
time.
personal, dog. Like, don't do me like that.
I
Hey,
have. Wait, I
no,
have. What did I
yeah,
give you?
yeah, yeah. You
I
had
gave
it.
you. You have your
Hey,
own.
here's the thing. I got one for me.
There you go.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna do that to y'all.
Okay, well, I'll get the other one.
Yeah,
in
you see
summer.
that? You see
I
that?
just got here, so I don't even
That's
see the
selfish
intro.
thinking right there. That's not the teamwork that we need. That's very Bulls with Zach
Pat literally
thinking
has
right there.
control. This man is Darth Vader.
Hey, but ultimately, getting back to the topic,
Steve-O, he said, all I got is Derek. See, he only had 1 year. Like,
Hey, that's a fact.
I had all my high school years, literally from
we had D
actually.
Wade too.
Ooh, the
See,
old D
he was-
Oh
Wade
no, they made the playoffs though.
with Rondo.
were-
Yeah, they did.
They
Yeah,
did make the
That
with,
playoffs.
with Jimmy and hey, they should have won against Boston that first round. I
Yeah,
think
that's when his
fair.
his arm got popped out the socket, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah, Rondo. Yeah.
Rondo's
Yeah.
one of the greatest point guards in my opinion. Like he is so underrated. But that team is more like our team we have now. Yeah, they're gonna get in the playoffs, but it's not like, yeah, we got a shot to win. We didn't have the flash. We had the sputter.
The sputter.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna say this though. Yeah, you said DeMar made the playoffs. Hey, DeMar barely made the playoffs. DeMar made the play in and then the playoffs. That's what happened. Like we had to help. Anyway, we get off topic here. All right.
Hey,
Should the Bulls be looking out? Do the Bulls owe it to Zach Lavine to even consider this trade, knowing that there's not a large trade market for him? There's not a lot of interest. And to be honest with you, the teams that could use a two guard have a two guard that we think would have like Philly doesn't need Zach Lavine. Philly is good as constructed.
Well,
they do not need a Zach Lavine.
If they had him, though, that would still be nice with Maxey and Joel. I mean, because
why would that be nice? They got Tobias Harris right there.
No, but what I'm saying is that obviously that's who you probably would get back in a trade is Tobias. Because who else is the Philly going to give up? They're not giving up Maxey or Joel. So who would they give back?
You build around Maxey and Joel. You don't bring another person that's trying to average 30 into that mix.
I see what you're saying. That's a good point.
That's the one punch right there. You don't mess that up.
He probably would get in the way, especially with all the money he's already making. Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah,
no, Zach is fine. He's the third option. He wants to be the third option.
I don't think so.
No, he getting paid
he's
like a number
perfect.
one though.
Yeah, he's getting paid. All that potential nonsense. Yeah, no, that's come home to roost. No,
hey, but you know what?
I would say to answer the question from my vantage point, no, they don't owe him anything. Mm-hmm. It's my team. Unless you have a no trade clause and you need permission or you need something to allow this trade to go through, you get the best that you can get for this player. You're not doing yourself any favors because now you're locked into another 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, depending on how this affects your team. So no, he doesn't. They look out for themselves.
I disagree a little bit just because I think that Zach has given them the Bulls organization the best years of his career so far, and that he's shown and proven that obviously with the contract they gave him that he's that type of player that improved and got better in his 3-level scoring. But again, like we always say, is he the guy to get you to the championship? Is he the guy that can lead a playoff team or get you to the playoffs? And the answer is no, not as a number one option. So I think in that retrospect, yeah, you Bulls want to look out for themselves, but you're not getting value back, equal value back. So
now, the one thing I will say is
what Pat is going in on you.
Pat is crazy. Hey, Pat is crazy.
You're darn right. I got 6 good reasons why. Why is he clowning with me, man?
You got kids that ain't never seen that era, dog. Come on.
I like this comment. I like Rossetti 999. Yeah, I want a dumb GM. I want a Scott Layden in New York who's willing to trade everything for this guy and believe that's what we need. Like, unless we're getting that, we're stuck.
I'll be honest with you. The Toronto having interest in Zach actually showed me something, and it's one of the things that for the P. Will fan club, they're not going to like this, but Pascal Siakam does exactly what you would want P. Will to do, and he's already like if you're thinking win now, you're not waiting for P. Will to maybe come around and build. That's not what championship teams do. You already have enough young pieces on this team, and that's the one thing I also said. We don't have the right mix. You know, if you want to go young and develop a young team and bring them up, you want to do the Boston Celtic thing. That's cool, but look how long it took them to get to they're still waiting on that championship. If you're in win now mode, you can't do that. You can't have that many young players and try to bring them on board and stuff like that. And ultimately, Boston still have to sell out and get older vets who have experience to get over that hump. Like, so realistically, seeing Pascal Siakam bringing that energy to Chicago. Hopefully they retain DeMar in that whole process if that's where they go, because I can see DeMar wanting to retire, or Toronto wanting DeMar back if that's the case. I can see that happening.
I'm
But
ready
like I
for a
can see
whole
that really
new.
working out with a Vooch, Pascal Siakam, and DeMar DeRozan. I can see that coexisting. What do you
Mhm.
all think about that?
Oh, so you're saying that Toronto would give up Pascal for because now they're going in the way of letting Barnes kind of lead the team. So they would probably be okay if they got Zach back for him, like straight up one-on-one trade.
They needed two guard.
If that was a,
They
if
needed two
that
guard.
was,
Like, let's
I
be
would
for
take
real.
that
They
in a
really
heartbeat.
do.
what are you smoking on?
Who?
You think that they would trade Pascal for Zach?
Maybe not a few years ago, but I think now they may have a
Yeah.
chance to look at him because I think Barnes is taking another step, and so they're kind of giving the reins of the team to him now.
And they play
Yeah.
the same position.
Yeah, they
Like,
literally play the
like
same.
I don't think like, and the one thing I know about basketball is when you have someone who's already cold at a position you're trying to develop, it's
Mhm.
very hard to do that. That's why I go back to LeBron James analogy. None of the small forwards or power forwards on the LeBron James team excelled.
Well, yeah,
They
that's
Yeah,
because
they were
LeBron
forced
plays
to
three
play a
positions.
role.
Yeah, but he plays three positions instead of just maybe like he's just a ball dominant guy. Some guys, he's one of those. Him, Westbrook, those are ball dominant dudes that are like you're siphoning stats from everybody else. I don't need you to necessarily rebound or do this like whatever. I mean, LeBron is the modern Magic Johnson. Where
Scotty
he
Barnes does exactly what you want. Pascal Siakam does exactly what you want Scotty Barnes to do.
yeah.
then
And he
we
does
got
it.
it. Well, then I mean that would be great. I mean that reminds me of like the Tracy McGrady, right? And he's on Toronto hilariously, coincidentally, where you got this young guy coming up. Now they didn't want to, sign him or couldn't give him the contract, so he ends up leaving and walking because you got Vince Carter there,
Mhm.
you know. So that would be interesting to see that. I mean, looking at I think because Pascal is getting 37 million, almost 38 million this year. And then Scotty, I think is he on the rookie deal where he's getting 8 million. So it would be interesting to see how you can make that.
And so you see Pascal he is getting 38 million.
That is hilarious.
Zach is,
I think
It's not so
Chat
bad.
Pat is just probably funnier than
Chatty Patty.
that man
hey
is
Ricky, I
going
like
in.
that.
That's hilarious.
They do have a lot of redundancy. That is true.
Hey, that I was just finna mention that comment. That actually is a good point, Ricky.
That's spot on. And you know
Shout
what?
out to my
Ironically,
son. Shout out to my son, Killer Cam. And he said we got to
hey,
focus on the
what's up?
draft this offseason,
Yes,
make
sir.
trades that get Chicago more picks. Yeah, well, I don't know if we're gonna get any picks. Like, I don't. Where are we with our picks? I don't even know. I haven't.
I'm gonna be honest
Man,
with you.
I
With basketball, y'all know
no
my motto: skip them picks. Skip them picks
Yeah.
when it comes to
No,
basketball,
you
dog.
can't skip picks. You just got to pick well in the top 3 or
It
4 or 5.
I'm
it
gonna tell
ain't
you
it ain't it ain't
the
football.
last top pick we got P. Will. He was top 4.
Yeah, but they picked a guy that played on the bench. They picked the 6th man.
They pick potential.
My
Yeah.
G, what I'm trying to tell you is I don't trust them with the number one overall pick in this draft. Skip them picks. All right. The picks ain't doing nothing for us. I still
Last
got
time I
is
checked, you got
Julian
to
Phillips
get picked
even
to get in the
on the
league.
court?
But you got to get picked to get in the league regardless. Boston, that's all picks. Philly done wasted so many picks and they kept a couple of them. No, you need to still scout well and draft well for whatever this is the thing. Whatever this
Larry
division.
Bird ain't walking through that door, my G. It's only so many rookies that have actually made enough impact on their first year to be win now. It's not happening. Skip them picks. I want these vets. That's all I'm
Yeah, but
saying. Like,
unless we can trade all of our picks in the future to get we need the guy. We need a guy that's going to be the anchor of this team. Like DeMar's over 30. How is he? 35?
I mean, Michael Jordan won a
Yeah.
championship at 35.
Yeah.
This is different. These guys are way more
Those are
athletic now. Like
outliers.
these guys, now he's not an outlier. A lot of guys played, in their 30s and 40s. These dudes now coming out at 18, and they've already, by the time they're 38 years old, they've already played 20 years. You're playing 82 games since you were 18,
Okay.
years old. So that and now you're playing Olympic basketball. You're playing like all year round. Then you got FIBA or FIFA. You got all this. Is it FIBA? FIBA. You got all the. You're playing so much. The wear and tear on these guys. That's why like Garnett just fell apart. Like he got to about 38. He was done. Kobe done. Like they got. These guys are not.
I'll say this: they do play more, but a lot of vets that sit there, and I've heard this. I think KG mentioned this on his podcast. They're not working on a game. You playing so much, you're not actually working on anything. You're just playing. And so now
Yeah.
the one thing you'll see, and like when you all watch the game, just let's look at this for those in the chat. The veteran players get around these young guys easy because they know
There's
how to use their body, know how to manipulate the floor.
there's your pick right there. We could have got Halliburton. We take P. Will. There's a lot of we could have took
Yeah,
Michael
but
Jordan,
I don't.
Michael Porter Jr.
What?
They
Oh,
took
hey,
the
hey,
wrong
I cry with you
junior.
on that one.
Hey,
I
I'm gonna tell
definitely
you the
cry
truth.
with you on
Michael
that
Porter
one.
Jr. only looks good because he's on a championship team. If he would have got here, he would have just been
What was that? A what team?
he's on a championship
Oh, a
team
championship team, right? Of drafted players, correct? Was it Jamal Murray drafted
of
there?
Yeah,
developed players. I'm
Jokic.
gonna say
Yeah.
developed
Oh, but was
players.
he drafted? And wasn't Jokic drafted?
I mean, yeah,
I
it took him
think
a
both.
while though. Hey,
Okay,
Jamal
but
Murray thought he was about to get traded.
yeah, but the point is they drafted good players that fit whatever the scheme is. We don't have any freaking picks.
I don't even know if we needed a point guard at that time. Is that why we kind of looked past Halliburton because he wasn't really that high as far as draft?
We were so big on Lonzo, like
Yeah, we had
and
Lonzo.
Lonzo's
No,
Yeah,
potential.
no. Did we have no? Did we get? Okay,
I
okay.
wonder if that was the year Lonzo came or the year before. Because even before that, we had Kobe and Io and Saturansky and whoever else.
We had too many guards. I mean, we were guard heavy.
I
Like
guarantee you that if we got Michael Porter Jr. sat on him for a year, no, our team was bad because you could have took a flyer on him. He didn't come back because he had surgery on his back, but his production would have been a lot better than I think what we're getting out of P. Will with
Mm-hmm.
now
and
you
that
and
was
I know this.
that was Wendell Carter Jr.
You and I know what MPJ could do, but let's be real. We put MPJ in Chicago. He gets here. He has a bad back. The
Yeah.
first thing this fan base is going to say is, now we got a GM who can't draft. We got this dude who ain't on the court, and we're going to eventually pay him some money. Like we've gone through that with Derrick Rose. We've gone through that. We didn't want
Okay.
another injury prone player as our focal point on the Chicago Bulls.
I
Like
wouldn't say
it
that
just
though.
sounds good, and it's a good what if, but it would have never happened. Like he
But
would have
the
never got the same love here.
But the Bulls did not. They don't manage their players properly, which is a knock on them big time. They didn't handle Derrick Rose's situation at all the right way. They should have just shut him down for the whole year. They let this public outcry like swell about him making $100 million and he should be out there playing. And it's like the pressure for him to come back. He should have sat. They didn't look out for that young man. They let him come back early. He ended up basically shortening his career. And now if you take MPG, or Jay, my thing is like this is the number one rated talent in the country. We're gonna take a flyer on him. He's gonna sit and we're gonna develop him. And then it's like you temper the expectations. But I don't know what they were doing when they did. Like why don't they just he's only dropped to 14 for a reason. Yes, he dropped for 14 because of the back injury.
It was because of his back injury. Nobody trusted that. Then you're not taking a high pick off that.
So they had to sit on him. But we weren't going anywhere. Did we have Laurie? We had Laurie then, right?
Yes.
Who's also, by the way, a 30-point perennial.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't gonna be a good look. Like if we drafted him that high when we needed to revitalize our fan base and revitalize our franchise, it'd have been a bad look. I get why they didn't do it. And frankly, if I was in the same position, I wouldn't have drafted him. I would have probably regretted it seeing where he is. But you also got to realize in Denver, he's not a focal point of that offense.
No, he's like the third. I understand that. I mean, the whole revisionist history. My whole point is like,
for sure.
It sucks to get not the what we wanted. Look, there was I wanted him in the draft. I'm like, we can sit on and we can draft him and hold him for about a year. Rose. No, they didn't sit him out when he got injured. He was rushed back for injury. He was not supposed to come back in that year. He should have sat out the whole year to get healthy. And
he did sit out the whole year.
Yeah, and he came back. He shouldn't have came back. They did not shut him down for the whole year. He sat out. He was trying to come back, and the whole point was that he rushed back.
That whole era was a little fuzzy because if people remember, Russell Westbrook got hurt, had a knee injury, and came back a lot sooner. So it was a lot of pressure on Derrick to come back too from the fan base and stuff like that. And we wanted the same Rose as opposed to realizing that he probably wasn't going to be the same explosive Derrick Rose. Like statistically, he was still as impactful when he got the opportunity. It just looked different. And even he says, like, I feel like I'm a better player now than I was then. But it's interesting. It's interesting all in all. But at the end of the day, I think we can all just like agree that the Bulls are probably going to look out for themselves. And I don't blame them. Like, if
Well,
you're
you
trying to
should.
win now, you have this asset, you're trying to sit there and trade, make moves to really make a playoff push.
Yeah.
You're not going to look out for Zach Lavine to go to the LA and just take whatever. You're trying to get the best option.
Yes.
And I think some of the best options are outside of LA. I still think one of the best options is come via Miami. I still think we need a shooter and somebody who comes with a nice a pedigree when it comes to the organization, defense first mentality type thing, even though he's a shooter. But that's just me. I can see Pascal. I don't see anything with the
I
Lakers.
definitely like Pascal. Yeah,
I like that a lot.
I would be excited if we got him, but I just think that it's just very basic. You got to get some type of equal value or something. I mean, if we're getting picks in the future, but I don't think LA has any picks, right? No team has.
LA
They have.
has they actually got some picks back. I don't know exactly what it was, but at one point they were deplete, and Rob Pelinka robbed somebody because he got them picks back. So like they made some interesting moves, but you know,
This
let's
team, well, this team as it stands, what is the time frame on this team? Didn't they extend? So we have Billy Donovan for like another 4 years because he
we
got an
got Billy
extension like
forever
last year.
long.
We
With
have
them
him
winning now, we probably have Billy for the next 5 years. Watch.
yeah. That
right.
was like under the table extension. I don't even know.
So we're stuck with him, and then based off the team that we have, I mean,
We definitely stuck
one of
with
these
AK.
cat. So they didn't extend Vooch yet, right? They're working.
Oh,
Aren't
they
they
did.
working?
No, they get Vooch
He
got a
got like
contract. He got a 3
Okay,
3
years,
more years.
okay,
60 something million
Yeah.
dollar contract.
okay. That okay. Yes. So basically we're stuck trying to build because Vooch is kind of going to be this anchor of this team. So it's like, how are they going to fix this team to get this iteration? If you're able to get, I mean, I'm not mad if we get D'Angelo Russell. I don't know if it. I think it's the
Just
same
D'Angelo Russell
lateral
though,
move.
because
I'm
that wouldn't
saying if
do
we
it for
get
me.
back, I'm just saying it's all the same. We're still what four? If we're the fourth best team in the East, that would be a win. But
Oh,
I just
absolutely.
want I just want us to not be a playing team. I want us to be at least
He wants to be a little bit more relevant than
another.
that, huh?
It's just the first. We'll be a second round contender.
You got to think about it like this. This is how I think about it. If he is going to the Lakers, if that's what they decide to do, you get D'Lo, who is a better version of Javon Carter and moves Kobe to the shooting guard position, which I feel
Yeah.
like is his natural position. So you got somebody who can definitely shoot, who's sizable because Javon Carter is a smaller guard. Like we was at the game, Jordan. That
Yeah,
dude is
he.
that
Yeah.
dude can't stick nobody. He's a defensive liability. I don't care what
No,
nobody
no,
says.
no, no, no. Hold on. Now that's where I disagree with you. That's where I disagree with you because that's exactly what he's known for. He
Yeah,
may be small, but that man
against
will
other
fight you tooth
guards.
and nail down the court. He is not no defensive liability. He's an offensive liability, but no, he came in here exactly for defense. He was one of the
He's
better
known for
guard
shooting.
defenders.
He's
I mean,
known
that's
for
great for
shooting.
depth. That's
Three
great
and
to have
D.
in your
Yeah, he was
depth.
known for his shooting on the Bucks, and he was known for his on-ball defense.
Jordan, we was at the game.
I know what I saw too, but I'm saying everybody has
you
a
saw
day.
what I saw.
Hey, every dog has his
That
day,
man-
and every dog don't.
No, that's how his game look
Bro, I'm
every
telling you,
time.
man.
I'm sorry.
We got 100 in the chat.
Javon Carter, you can't be
we got
dogging
100 in the
Javon Carter
chat.
like that,
Let's
man.
go.
We got
100
100
in the chat, baby. Let's
Shut
go. I
up,
gotta get the
sir.
sound effect. I gotta get my soundboard back up. But no, dog. No, my man staying like, nah, Lil Bow Wow, move. Like, what is we doing? Stop
I got guns
lying,
bigger
bro.
than Little Bow Wow.
No, man.
Fam, like for real. Like, nah, we moving buddy out there, right? Rui Hachimura does a little more than we saw him put up better numbers than P. Will did. But at the end of the day, listen, I
Thank
like
you,
this. I'm
Ricky
not gonna say that.
Fontaine.
But Ricky, I'm with
done
you.
this.
Ricky
I'm with
on one
you.
today, man.
Blow it up
Yeah,
and let the
blow
young
it
boys
up.
run.
Yeah, but they're not gonna blow it up. You know, AK is about continuity. So even
He
if they got to
can't.
let go of some of the players, he's not gonna just like completely just take this team apart. Because
All right,
then that
yeah.
would be
answer me-
admitting like defeat.
I have a question. Can you help me understand something? Like I've been bad as a Bulls fan. Why do we not start Andre Drummond, who's one of the best
Vooch
rebounders
is
of all
play.
time?
No, you can't do him over Vooch.
You can't put him in a power forward position.
No, because he's not going to be keeping up.
Put
He's
Vooch
not
in the
keeping up
center?
with those fours.
Whoa, whoa,
So he
whoa,
wants-
whoa, whoa,
He's
whoa.
not
wants
sticking
to-
Giannis. He's not
Hold
sticking
on.
KD.
Time
Stop
out.
it.
Time out.
Come on.
Time out. Vooch This is the problem I have with people use that, right? And Jordan, I got this since you gonna put yourself in the line of fire. This is on
Ain't
you.
no line of fire. That's a fact.
Hold on. Is he on the floor?
Look at that. Lob Mob said it. Stamina issues. He's good for
No.
15
Is
to
he
20
on the
minutes.
floor? Is he on the floor?
Yeah.
If Vooch was that much of a defensive liability, why won't I just switch?
Raging Oracle. Okay, so if you switch to Rose and
It's
he's
a
the
lot of
center
people who
technically,
sit
and
there in
Vooch is
these
the
comments,
4.
Jay. It's a lot of people in these comments who say some stuff they don't know
No,
ball.
you're not getting what I'm saying. If we switch their roles, Vooch is the 5 now, and I mean Vooch is the 4. Either way, one of them dudes are going to get taken
I'm
to
coming
school.
down the court as the point guard, and I know there's a defensive liability there that I want to exploit. I am going to pass the ball to my most athletic guy, and I'm going to force the switch for him to be on Vooch.
But I'm tired of seeing
it happens all the time.
I'm tired of seeing offense. I'm tired of seeing no rebounders where Vooch is at the top of the key and no one's there. Like, I'm sorry, we can afford it. We're not that great of a team. Put Drummond and get me a rebounder back in there. And now you got
can
Vooch
play the 4. I'm with you.
I don't care. Start one
you.
of them. Patrick Williams. Look, if you go and get D'Angelo Russell, then you put Kobe at the 2, which then puts you got DeRozan at the 3, and we got an actual front court with Vooch and Drummond. I don't understand why.
Here's another reason why you don't do that though. P. Will is also giving you points. Now I know you may not believe that all the time, but he's also a threat from the outside. No, but hear me out. He's a threat from the outside. Drummond is not a 3-and-D player. He's just strictly a defensive player, and he gets you all the rebounds you need, right?
Yes.
Can't make a free throw to save its life. And so there's so many liabilities with having Drummond start. He's great in his role as a backup because he comes in and he can bring what Vooch may not all the time. And so
what difference does that make? You've seen this work in Golden State. They got a whole guy who's suspended indefinitely right now who can't really shoot. He might hit a 3 here and there. He's a defensive stalwart. Like, the reason they even like
you're talking about Draymond versus Drummond, though. I'm
just saying he's a defensive player, rebounder. We talking about a guy that can average 12 to 15 rebounds a game. And you talking about P. Will, who is a career 6-man. He was a 6-man in college.
I ain't say he a threat, BTO. I said that he actually can still knock down a 3. Drummond can't shoot to save his life. What I'm saying is,
so we don't ask him to do that. You go and box out.
So then what you're telling me? Okay, so then what you're telling me is that you're gonna have Kobe White getting double and triple teamed then because they know that they're gonna go to him for the scoring if we just keep him and DeMar.
No,
and D'Angelo.
That's flawed logic because you're under the impression that just because
y'all didn't let me finish my point, but you know that's okay.
I got all excited.
What I'm saying is, if you stick with Kobe and DeMar, and okay, so let's just say D'Lo is here, so now you got the 1, 2, and 3 lined up. Those guys are going to get just continually blitzed from the defense, double team and triple team, because they know Vooch and Drummond in the paint are not going to be threats. Like,
how are they not threats in the paint if that's where they live? Vooch gets most of his points
offensively. Drummond is not going to be a threat offensively. Drummond is not going to be.
Drummond at one point was a 20-10 player.
How long ago was that? That was in his role. He was the number 1 player on Detroit.
What I'm saying is he has
nobody else was scoring.
What I'm saying is he has the ability around the basket. Like you literally just said.
I don't think so. That's why he gets so many offensive rebounds. He literally misses layups and he tips it 5 times to get 6 offensive rebounds.
You said let you finish your thought. You just said Drummond around the basket is not going to be a threat. That's where he lives. Of course he's going to be a threat. Drummond at the 3-point line is not a threat. Drummond in his natural position is a threat. So it's like playing high-low basketball happens all the time. Like he would be a threat, but it's like, hey, it's just not the style that Billy runs, and that's cool. Right. It's just ultimately what boils down to that. But
I guess to button this topic up, the point is the Bulls should look out for themselves because we got to get better. You can't get better from within when you got clear, obvious talent sitting on your bench, and all of this is a key shakeup on your lineup. They got to do what they got to do.
And with that being said, we're gonna actually keep it pushing because like I told you all, you're not getting away from this Bears talk. No matter what, did you all know that even with Michael Jordan on the court, that the Bears at times were the most watched team in Chicago?
It's a football town, baby.
Football is king. So we're gonna transition to this because you know, Joe always wants to know where we are, what the draft picks are gonna be. where
I'm a
we
GM at
stand,
heart.
as long as the Panthers keep losing, we always gonna have a top 5 pick, baby. But ultimately,
Oh, dang it, I messed that up. Oh, Jesus, take that off.
Yeah, I was about to say the 5th pick.
No, they do.
We do.
Wait, do they do? Yeah, or
we
is it the
do.
Is
7th?
that updated?
This
Is
is
that
right.
right? Okay,
This is the
I
last
thought.
list I saw.
Okay.
Now,
All
listen,
right.
if
Let me
this
double
list
check.
changes today for somebody, who plays
Oh
today?
no, I'm right. I got it right. Okay,
Oh,
Okay.
you're
All
I got
right.
it
right.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
I'm
whatever
fact
reason, I
checking
thought our
Terry.
pick was 7th now. Okay.
I thought it was, but because the Giants, I think that Giants win boosted us up.
Oh, booted. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, here is the current list. These are the current picks, where they
Ooh, I'm
stand,
so
things of that
excited.
nature. Mind you, just put the Bears logo right on top of the Carolina Panthers because we hold that pick. And
Mhm.
obviously, we have our own as a top 5 pick as well. Boys, what do you think? How are we feeling? We currently hold the first in the
I
5th. A lot is contingent on. We only have like what 3 weeks left? How many weeks we got left?
4.
4 weeks left.
Yeah.
Pat has
I
already made a video about winning out and all that stuff. I think I want competitive football, but
Mm-hmm.
hey Justin, just throw a pass to the sideline. Just whatever. I kind of want
What?
the pick. I ain't saying
no,
throw the game. I'm just saying don't win it.
we have our quarter. We
Just
have a quarterback. I think we have a
just don't win
quarterback
it.
to
That's
win
all
this.
I want.
If
Now
I'm
I'm with you, Ricky.
go for it. Go for it. Now you see what the picks are. Who you taking?
I'm
Are
moving
we
down
keeping
with
the
the
picks,
one
or
pick.
are you saying we can draft? We can trade.
This is more about positioning. I don't. It's as Kid was saying earlier. It's a little too early to start talking about players and this and that. But I
Mm.
It
think
is.
that we could. I'm saying it's more about position. I don't think we end up with the 5th pick. I think we get in that 10-12 spot. If they end up winning out
Mm-hmm.
and make it, maybe they're right outside the playoffs. Maybe they sneak in. I think that our pick is going to be whatever it is, the 10th to 12th. I would like us to trade down and do the exact same thing that we just did. And then hopefully we can, and then we might be able to run the tables again. You still got you still have Carolina's 2025 second round pick, if I'm correct, right? Next year
I
they
do
have,
believe so.
Yes.
so
Yes.
you have enough picks that even if you want to make a move to trade up next year, because for some reason we don't like Fields, you can trade up to do that, or even better, Fields is our guy, and we can keep drafting. I want quality linemen. I want linemen, offensive linemen, and a 3 technique.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about MH Marvin Harrison Jr., which I think is he would be a very great piece. I just feel like we're in Chicago in Bear country where it's cold in the wintertime. We're outside. We need line play, good running, because you can have all the receivers in the world. This is not the greatest turf on earth. Greatest show on
Yeah.
turf, whatever they
Definitely
call it.
not. Yeah.
So like that's cool, but we're not. I don't think we're designed for that type of like a true passing attack the way our scheme is. I want if we can get a Debo. I know Pat doesn't like
Woo.
anything with running backs, but we need guys that can catch out of that backfield, that can block. You know, multi-talented guys in that type of scheme.
You kind of got that in Roshan. I think when he gets more of a chance, you got that in him.
If we get another guy, I think if Dante could catch,
Yeah.
out of the
Yeah.
backfield,
Yeah.
I would, because I love his running style, but this similar to what the Green Bay is doing. AJ Dillon is a bowling ball of a running back, and then the other guy is Aaron Jones. I
Aaron
think
Jones. Yep.
he's been hurt, but he's the shifty, quick guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like if I can get a tackle, and if not, I want possibly maybe if the guy from Illinois is that guy, there's my 3 techniques.
Jerzon Newton.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
In the
number
first
1.
round.
Yeah.
And then I heard that there's a center coming out that just declared for the draft from Oregon.
Just declared. Yep.
And
he's supposed to
seen
be
that too.
tops. Okay.
Now here's a funny thing. I'm actually all on board for us actually drafting O-line that early. Forgive me. Because I still think that with our second rounders, we're going to draft the QB. And I say that because there's five QBs coming out. 3 of them are going top 15. The other ones may fall late first, early second, where we would still be coming back around. And I think that's just worth us taking a look at. JC, what you got? Hold on.
Hey, well, I've been warming up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did a draft video on my channel, and at first I was all about only taking MHJ because I'm like, okay, this guy's generational. He obviously has the pedigree, his father, so he knows what he's probably going to do in the next level. But I've been looking at some more highlights from this dude from LSU, Malik Neighbors. If we
Yeah.
trade down and address the line with Joe Alt or Olu, or we go for Jerzon Newton and whoever else, and then we can still get somebody like him. Malik Neighbors is not a that much of a fall off from what I've seen. That man's hands are sure. He runs crisp routes. Like, he has everything
Yep.
that MHJ has except for maybe the height. So I'm big on him. I'm big on Keon Coleman. I'm a little big on Romo Dunze from Washington. Like, those dudes, they can ball out too.
I'll be honest with you. I'm big on
Ricky over there snapping. I'm gonna hop in my car, slap the crap out of you. You don't take it. Son of a.
You
the funny thing, Ricky. Here's the thing, though. I gotta it. I hate to say this because some people gonna be like, "Oh, you just don't want Fields." I gotta make sure that we drafting this wide receiver. Are we gonna get this ball to him?
If you don't,
I'm gonna be
have
honest
a
with you.
line,
We gonna get this ball to him because I done seen Mooney. Everybody be talking about Mooney don't get separated. So I'm like, Mooney been wide open a couple times and he ain't get hit. So that's what happens when you got a young QB who's still kind of still learning his progressions and stuff like that, and all of that is still real. And it's not no knock on him, but it's like at the end of the day, you only get so many chances to have this situation the Bears are in, and this particular QB class is one of the best we've seen in a while as far as prospect stuff. Now, how it translates to the league could be a little different, but how they're touted coming out of college is one of the best we've seen in a while.
Adam, where are you
so
from?
you can't miss on that either. So I think the funny thing is us trading back and going for, I still think Jaden Daniels is probably going to be one of those QBs that like we sneakily fall to a team like us realistically late. I don't know why
he might be in the top 10 now with him winning Heisman, though. I think
he should be, but he didn't rise on a lot of people's boards.
I think by draft time he'll be in that discussion. He won't be in the Drake made Caleb discussion, but I think right outside of that, he's probably going 3 or 4.
At the end of the day, this is all speculation from us and everybody else as a fan. The scouting department in Hallis Hall is what matters. Doesn't matter what any of us think, because they surprised us every year that they've drafted. They took Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker, the other year. They surprised with Darnell Wright. Like, so all this talk last year, Jalen Carter.
Yep. That's a good point.
And it doesn't matter.
We had a chance to get him twice, by the way.
Twice. Now we're good. We got an extra pick out of you.
Now
trade it down.
Yeah, here's the one thing that does scare me, because I haven't really been on the Drake May conversation, but that name pops up a lot. He's been tied to the Bears potentially being drafted. I mean, all season realistically. I mean, I know you all have seen this stuff like that. I have to ask this question because it's a legitimate question. Let's just say we don't get nothing but first game back Justin Fields. So with serviceable, don't make any mistakes. Nothing spectacular, but doesn't cost me anything, and he still, can make some plays. If you are playing that role, do you like Drake May is considered a generational talent, just like MHJ is?
I'm tired of that term being thrown around like a dang. If you have a nickel for every time somebody says that, generational talent, everybody's talented now.
They're considered.
All the people that have been doing drills since they're 5 years old. That's where we are now, because those guys didn't do that back then. Now everybody's been playing football since they're 5 years old. So everybody now, if you don't get injured, don't blow your knee out, and can make it to the top level. Now everybody's a generational talent. They're all big. They're all strong. It's can they process here? So to me, what difference does it make? It's a crapshoot to draft one of these quarterbacks that high, anyways.
Well, that's one of the things that people are questioning with Justin. I mean, listen, I'm just putting it out there as what the questions were. Realistically,
we literally have a 6'3", 230. Was he 230, 220 something?
I think 220.
He's literally shedding grown defensive tackles off of him and defensive ends like it's nothing. He can take off. We have one of the most premier athletes I think I've ever seen play in our city, and now we have a questionable play caller. We do have talent. Like, we can barely get. We're not getting Cole Kmet the ball. We got a tight end, and we got DJ Moore. If you compare, I mean, even if he is two, maybe two rungs under Travis Kelce, he's still a serviceable tight end.
Yeah.
You know, if we
Oh,
can
for sure. I
scheme to
like
get him
Okamet.
the ball, but I'm saying I see issues in our running game is not consistent because we have one running back can do this well, one running back can do that well. We have a lot of holes on our offensive line still. It looks really good when the two best guys are together on the right side playing versus what we don't have a center, and our left tackle is very shaky, and our right guard is average. We need 3 linemen and we need a 3 technique, and I'm very excited to see what we do coming up next year with another off season.
So I'm gonna be devil's advocate for a minute because your question is, do you go with Drake May? If because this is not what I want personally. I'm keeping JF1 and I'm building around him because I've seen enough to actually think that he should be here for the long term. But if I'm going in a different direction, I am drafting Drake May or somebody else other than Caleb Williams because, in my opinion, you're getting the same carbon copy of Justin Fields if you're drafting Caleb Williams, who has some of the same issues as far as what they say his weaknesses are. And so if you want to run that back just because it's on a rookie contract, you're starting over doing the same exact thing, thinking that it's going to be different. When you already have a talent like Justin in the building who's quicker, stronger, probably has a better deep ball. So those are the things that I'm looking at. I don't want to repeat the same issue if we're going to replace Justin with another Justin.
I think that's the issue that you just mentioned right there. You named 3 things that had nothing to do with his throwing ability, and you said probably on the throwing ability. Your QB passes the ball. That's like saying, hey, I got a point guard. He scores the ball really well. Assist is low.
His vision is bad, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like for me, and you all know I like a more traditional style QB because all of my favorite players were wide receivers. What's the one constant? They got QBs that got the rock out. That my QB wasn't the most athletic person on my team, so he didn't depend on that. And it's like it's what interesting conversation because like Cam Newton's interview has been floating around and all the stuff he's saying. And Cam Newton's a Hall of Famer. I can't say nothing about Cam at all. But there was a moment where nobody wanted to come to Carolina for a reason.
Yeah.
Like people remember that. Like we readily remember. Oh yeah, because Cam is gonna be Cam, and you ain't gonna get that rock. Your numbers are gonna drop because Cam is gonna be Cam. Like,
but he was always
that's the reason, right? That's not attractive for a lot of people who get paid.
He was always like that, even at Auburn.
Yeah, but Fields will throw the ball. The issue is like we have there's a lot of this weird combination: rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator. I mean, they're now in their second years, and then you got 3rd-year Fields who's learning his second system. So I just feel like. Fields can throw the ball. There's been many times when you put him in a situation to throw it, he can throw the ball. Now, I'm not blind to say that he can't throw the ball. I'm not blind to say that he hasn't held the ball in certain situations. And there's some things where he's growing as a passer, but there's other times where you're going to make mistakes. Like if you're expecting him to be perfect all the time. I just look at him like Donovan McNabb. I look at him like even Russell Wilson. I look at a lot of the athletic black quarterbacks where they're always using their athleticism first, and then they eventually want to turn into a passer. I think he's on his sliding scale. He's closer to wanting to pass more. He has the ability to do that, in my opinion. So even if he busts out, he's not killing us. Like he didn't turn the ball over. He has no interceptions his last few games.
Interceptions.
He's getting
decision making
better. So even if he's Alex Smith at the worst, it's shown that you can win with competent quarterback play. And if you got to move on from him and get another quarterback, then so be it. But you don't have to do it right now. When you can build this lineup.
First 2 rounds, a QB is coming off the board for the Bears.
I don't think so.
Ooh, not when you need to. It depends on how they address their stuff. Like if they trade out of the first round, that first pick, maybe depending on how many picks they get.
How many second round picks do we have?
We have one now because we traded away one, right? With that trade for.
Well, we have Carolina's 2025 pick.
Got who it was,
and then we traded Montez and gave away a second pick.
There you go. Yeah.
So we only have one now, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the reason I said it is because
Ego Bean, they addressed O-line and D-line a little bit, last year.
Yeah, DeMarcus Walker is not moving the needle. Sorry.
And even with
Nate Davis is not
Giannis,
moving the needle.
no, they're good guys.
The
Based on the
Yannick pick,
deals,
the Yannick move was the one that you thought was you gonna get a lot more out of.
I
That
did.
hasn't
I
really
I
did.
did.
I
materialized.
thought he was average. Pat was all going crazy about it. I'm like, yeah, he's an average D lineman guy. I mean, maybe. And he wasn't a difference maker yet, but once Montez got here, we still, man, once we get this 3 technique, that's going to be interesting because our secondary is really good. I would see, this is the other thing. Everybody's so focused on quarterbacks, D line, and O line, and I have too. But I'm also thinking, like, where is that Urlacher, Derek Brooks linebacker? Is that in this draft this year?
Dallas
Because
Turner.
because Jermaine Edmonds is supposed to kind of be the rangy guy. But, is there a guy where a difference maker, like, that's because having Brisker, we haven't had a competent safety in a long time.
Let me ask you all that, Leah. Who is that 3 tech in this draft? Like, there's a bunch of names. Everyone says we need it, but where is it? Who is it?
Jerzon Newton. That's the only name I know about.
Yeah, he might be that guy.
And where is he projected to go in this draft?
Top 15.
First rounder.
Top 15.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It might be if we trade down and can get Alt or Fashanu with the higher pick, and maybe we get the tackle with that 12th or 10th or whatever pick. And yeah, see Adam, like I like where Adam's at. Like we're gonna have to. Actually, I was thinking this because I was thinking free safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Jackson, he's probably out the door.
Mm-hmm.
What's the thought if we move? What's our rookie?
Jaquan? Oh, you talking about Terrell? Not Terrell.
Tyreek.
Oh, cornerback?
Stevenson?
What if we move Tyreek to free safety?
I mean, he is a hard hitter. He's a tackler for sure. But
if you keep Jalen Johnson and we got Kyler, we already got Jaquan, and you can draft you another nickel cornerback, I guess, and move Tyreek to the free safety. I like that.
Right, that's if you draft another cornerback, that would be nice. Like if you get like somebody like Kool-Aid McKinstry or
projected to go top 10. He's projected to go 9.
Who?
Yeah,
Newton. Yeah, so I'm saying we got to get if there's our 3 tech. Those might be the 2 guys we got to get a left tackle, and then a 3 technique, and then
most of the centers in this draft are projected to go in the 2nd and 3rd.
Second round, yeah, the dude from Georgia.
Yeah, the highest centers always, it would be very rare to go to the 1st round if that's the 31st pick that you get in the center.
Yeah.
I can see us trading back the Carolina pick, picking up some extra picks. Getting
get 3, we could probably get 3 number 1s again. Put that graphic back up.
Are you talking about if we trade out of like the top 10 with that?
We trade out of the top 10.
No, you don't want to go out of the top 10. You got to go.
Who giving us 3 first rounders in the top 10?
We got 9. We went to 9 with Carolina, and then we traded down to 10.
But
I'm looking at like the Raiders, the Jets, something like that. The Giants. Like we gotta. If we're
the Jets are not going to draft another QB that early. I don't think they'll be thirsty. Everything they need, they can actually get late round. To be honest with you, because Aaron coming back and things that they can get late first. I got to look at their draft stock because they actually kept their picks. Aaron Rodgers didn't play, they kept their picks.
You know why they can take a quarterback? Because they have Aaron Rodgers. If he's here
for sure.
If he's there for 1 or 2 more years, and now you got a quote unquote generational talent guy, because guess what? They got an offensive line, they got a defense. That's a prime team to make that type of trade.
Okay, so Ricky said Jackson Powers is his name. I guess he's the best center now because all I knew about was Cedric Van Pram. So I guess that's why so much hype around him.
Is that what he's from? He's from
Oregon, right? Center from Oregon. Yep. Yeah.
Either way, I mean, the whole point is like, look, last year everybody was talking about the dude from Northwestern, Skoronski.
Where is he?
All that stuff. He's in Tennessee, and I think
he must not be doing nothing.
No, he must be doing something because you don't hear his name.
No, I think he's hurt. I think the other Paris Johnson. I think he's doing okay.
I wanted Paris Johnson, not because his name was Paris, but like he was cold.
I like the red jersey.
Oh my goodness!
I like the colors. No, I think No, you know, like girls would be like, I like that team because of the colors. That's all. I was
No, I'm trying to look up Peter Square. He's on the Titans. He's played 600 and something
I thought he
snaps.
was hurt.
No,
But
how many pressures has he allowed? How many quarterback hits and sacks? Because that man,
I'm
I
trying to
haven't
see
heard
if
his
he's
name
still
too.
playing because Will Levis in there
shout out
throwing
to Ricky
dots with that
Fontaine.
nice little comeback they just had.
He's doing his thing.
I just think that I trust this. I like the scouting department. You know how they're getting stuff done. They're hitting on more than missing than these picks because that's what been the biggest issue. I mean, like I said, this is the first time we've had a first round pick since Roquan, and then before that, God knows that's actually delivered.
Man,
Outside of
really?
Roquan,
Wow.
yeah, Kevin White from Pace.
Okay.
Leonard Floyd was very average. I mean,
Trubisky.
go back
Trubisky
to
was
go back to Jerry Angelo, like Chris Williams, Karimi. You know, Colombo was good and he got hurt. We got this dude's Wright has been there since week one and has been solid ever since. And it's like
I've always thought that this was the case because I felt like this was like everyone, like if you hear everyone's logic on drafting, I'm like, why would you want to win now with a rookie at the line? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Unless he's in the first round because you can't pass on a really good talent. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Outside of that, I would go a vet.
if you can cobble together talented guys that can last you 5, 6, 7 years, yeah, clearly you can buy veterans. I mean, the 06 team showed you that.
Yeah.
Tate, Garza, all you had was Krutz, who was a Hall of Famer, by the way. Garza,
Hall of Fame and stuffing people in line.
Ruben Brown.
and Fred Miller, and Ruben Brown. Garza. They bought half that team, but they weren't there after about a year or two. Tate retired in 09. That was it.
Yeah.
You have to build through the draft. Of course, you want to draft and find diamonds in the rough in the 4th and 5th. Like getting a guy like Braxton Jones is great as a 5th round pick, but you give him the shot, but he's not necessarily that guy. I'd say moving to left guard. We were talking about that Friday, and Drew, certain guys are like, well, it's hard to. I don't want to move guys all around. They do that all the time in the NFL. Guys switch positions all the time.
Now I want to bring this up because today's game, this is a Thursday night. So we are going to hop off soon for that. So we got two things going against us. We got football and basketball, right? But the Raiders are playing, and the Raiders are actually playing the Chargers without Justin Herbert, without Keenan Allen, and so them winning actually that should push them down, but them losing could actually bump them up, right?
The Raiders will probably win. They go to 6 and 8. That drops them all the way down to probably like. It might swap. It might go to 10. Chargers go.
The Chargers are now. Yeah, they will probably move up because they are probably full in on a tank now, trying to get other things.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If the Raiders lose and they come down all the way to 10 or less, and we trade with them instead of 3 first rounders, how would y'all feel about if they got 2 first rounders from them and Max Crosby?
They're not trading Max Crosby.
Yeah, that's what my Cameron was thinking that.
I would love that. They may not, but I'm just saying that would be nice if they know need to kind of start over.
Yeah, they do that for Justin Fields.
That would be amazing because now you're covered. Your D line is solid, and now you need your 3 technique.
Hey, we give you Max Crosby and the pick for Justin. How about that? No, I'm just joking. Yeah, the Raiders are not. It's a good thing though.
Wouldn't that be crazy bananas if they actually do trade Fields too? They're like, hey, we got all the picks. They trade Fields and get a second pick.
Just start over.
Still trade down and they start over with everything. That would be insane. I think he's worked. That would be nuts.
I think Fields is actually proved himself enough for me to still want more of these next 4 games. Absolutely, he has to show me something.
He needs to show you something in this next game. You already know you don't want to get PTSD.
This game is
this is the game for me. The game, how you bounce back against this. And ultimately, like at the end of the season, I want to have more of I can see you improving, not you're making the same mistakes as when the season started. And that's why I thought the disservice of him being injured and stuff was like that. Everyone keeps talking about the clock is not real. The clock is real. Shut up. The clock is real. The clock is real. Everyone talks about it. Everyone talks about it when it's not their team. When it's not their team, everyone mentions the clock. Oh, you got to eventually pay him. You got to start those conversations, this, that, and the other. If you're in this situation, you have a strong QB draft. You're not going to roll that dice. You can't. That'll be GM malpractice. So guess what? Fields got to show me. He got to show me he's my
But
guy. And then at that point, I'm rolling with it. I'm happy. I'm happy if he's here. I don't care who's there.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
logic behind why you would consider it is still sound. It doesn't make me a hater. I'm very objective. I am not tied to either concept. I really don't. Are the Bears going to be able to win? Is what I want.
Yeah, my thing with Fields, because like a lot of people you get teased where it's like, you've heard little silly, terms out there like justice sexuals and all that nonsense. It's like you're not looking at it objectively. You're not looking at what the body of what this guy can do. I think that my point is like we've seen enough bad quarterbacks come in here and you give up on certain guys. You could if now this is my thing. I trust in Poles and what he's doing.
Facts.
If they feel that Fields is that guy all the way, because I think he can. If they think that, you know what? Because what did he say? We got to be blown away to make this to make a move or a trade like that. Now, then the clapback of C.J. Stroud. Nobody was talking about C.J. Stroud.
No.
Everybody was dogging him.
No.
It was all about Bryce Young. And C.J. It was Bryce Young and C.J.'s right down there. And now, but for what they were doing, I think the whole point was they were evaluating Fields to see what he can do. We can make some moves. And they made a prudent move by getting a premier receiver. We got a tackle. We got to get this line right. If they say they don't make that move, they may sit this out where like we don't necessarily have to. Everybody's acting like we got to do something with Fields now when you got technically 2 more years to go. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that because you always hear Ryan Post saying that I have to be completely blown away to get rid of Fields. I think this is just my assumption. I think that that's his leverage to really say I'm not trading Justin Fields at all, but I'm not going to let you know that until we get to the draft because that's like his ace in the hole.
Because these jokers out here want to pry out a story so bad. They're so quick to try to force a narrative in terms of the media. And it's like, by the way, we haven't really heard from Poles say anything.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, sources, they making stuff up. They don't know. What I do know, what I think though, have you noticed how the narrative for the national media has changed? Before it was all about Bajas this, Bajas that, baby, and now with them winning, now I think Fields could be a Super Bowl quarterback. Like the narrative is being changed, and it's interesting. Like, is that getting leaked out? That like, no, we need y'all to relax, or maybe they're playing the ultimate mind game. Let's ratchet the value of Justin Fields up, right? So I don't know. I'm happy
guy.
we keep him. What?
I love that guy. I love this Bishop guy.
P.kidd in the chat and on stream.
I used to do that all the time, dog. He's like, "Oh, you're just a hater." Like, shut up. Like, hey, first of all, thank you for the like. Thank you for the like. Thank you for watching. It was like, if I was a hater, I wouldn't have the jersey. Like, shut up. Like, nobody got time for you. Like, hey, I'm gonna say this. I am a Bears fan. If Justin gets me there, great. If Justin don't get me there and somebody else does, perfect. I don't care.
I need you to, but the whole point is look at it from a more objective. Is people think that you're not looking at it objectively instead of looking at what we're seeing. Like it takes a lot for a quarterback to be successful, and not a lot of these guys are transcendent.
The race card. Hey, that's the weakest argument. Not another brother.
On,
oh my God! Hey, dude, listen. I'm gonna tell you this. One. Take your Afrocentric self on somewhere. Like I don't care.
He don't understand PK's game, man. PK is petty for a reason.
This mess is not another brother. Shut that.
Nah, I'm going with Bishop. I'm going with Bishop. Kid, you're a hater.
hey, I'm a hater. Oh God, I'm a hater.
You are a hater. Oh,
I can see Bishop now showing up with that dashiki. Not another brother.
My
one
brother.
Fish, 2 fish, red fish.
What was
somewhere, dog? I'm a hater because I want us to actually like build our team the right way, and I see it different than you. Shut up.
What was I'm gonna get you sucker? He was like, and we got to fight them. Yes, and we got to do this. Yes, and you gonna do this? No. That's kid right there. No, I'm gonna go to Indiana.
I'm not. Hey, listen. Y'all can battle out in Chicago if y'all want to. I like my peace and quiet. Listen, but no, man, this is gonna do it for us today, man. I think we've covered this well. I appreciate you all jumping in. Shout out to the chat, even those who think I'm a hater. We appreciate you all
You're not a
supporting.
hater, dog.
Hey, listen, I love it. Hey, you know it don't bother
Oh
me.
man,
It's
now
just-
we
It
got.
is-
You got
Kid
a
is
at
hate.
the end of the day,
He's Agent Chaos. That's my nickname for him.
Hey,
Agent Chaos.
he had to do
Right.
3 things that
What he
actually
does.
supports me to write that comment. He had to click the video, which means that you count as a view. He had to comment, which is an interaction, helps the algorithm, and then you repetitively commented, which means that we get more engagement.
We love Bishop
Hey,
Williams.
we love it. We love it.
Bishop. Don't go anywhere.
Hey,
Matter of fact, we'll see we'll be on tomorrow. Me and Pat will be on tomorrow. So
I'm gonna be there in person with you all as well. We're gonna
you
be
show
there
up tomorrow for? Okay,
and
let's
you
go.
get to call me a hater again after you like, view, and interact. Thank you so much for that. At the end of the day, I appreciate you all. You all know what we do. You know who I am. But shout out to the man, myth, the legend again, super producer Joe Holt right there, man. He didn't get the GM hat today, so that's
actually downtown.
Ryan Poles gets all
about-
his advice from that
It
guy.
stays in the studio.
And my man JC right there in the orange room Oval Office right there. I was gonna call that. He's a good. Hey, listen, you are such a Bears fan that even your Cubs hat is Bears colors.
It does. It does look like
Is
it.
that
I ain't
orange
gonna
or
lie.
red?
You're just colorblind, kid. That's
I'm just
okay.
colorblind. That's all.
That's
At the end of the
red.
day,
Clearly red.
at the end of the day, we appreciate you all. Y'all catch us tomorrow. Till next
He
time.
said Bishop said I made like your videos and y'all remove the hater.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
He said he trolling. It's all good.
Oh, I
we,
know.
love,
Yeah,
and
it's
we
all
love
good.
all y'all in the chat. Baki, all that Raging Oracle. We love all you guys, man.
Appreciate you.